What is going on, YouTube? PPS back. It is the 9th of February. We're coming at you guys for our YouTube Play of the Day video. It is snowing. It is really, really shitty outside for us here in Wisconsin, but we are hot, right? We're hot on the plays here. 5 straight winners overall on our YouTube Play of the Day for college basketball. Been absolutely cooking, and I'm hoping that continues again today. Current run, obviously rolling with the Pepperdine game. We had Cornell come through for us, UConn over, Eastern Michigan over, and then last night 1.5 unit banger there with the Memphis Tigers, making it easy for us. We were about even, a little bit negative, or we were 1 game under 500 starting the streak. But now we're back in the crop positive, sitting at 2.39 units profit. And I expect to come through again today. We got 2 spots, 2 teams that we have backed in the past. One of them we haven't seen in a little bit here, but I'm super excited. I'm pumped to get after it, and let's get to it. And we're going to go to the game that we've been rolling with, these late night hammer games, and that is our boys of the Waves of Pepperdine. They're facing off against BYU. Just a little overcast of the game. Pepperdine, 202 in adjusted offense, 182 in adjusted defense, sitting at a top 10 pace in the country there. So obviously really like that. BYU, another top 40 adjusted tempo team here, but they're very good defensively, 30th in the country in adjusted defense and middle of the pack in adjusted offense here. So why I like this game, why I think that we're going to obviously get to this over here. They played earlier, right? 91-81. I know everyone's going to look at that and obviously want to bet this over, but I think there's more to it, right? We love the pace. Obviously, we saw that game get into the 70s of possessions, which, again, 70s is pretty high in college basketball there. But also, I really like the shooting on these sides, right? BYU, middle of the pack and opponent three-point percentage. You go over to Pepperdine, they are absolutely terrible at guarding the 3 ball, bottom 300 at 36% there. So I don't like the defense, like I said, of Pepperdine. We've been backing these overs because they can't play defense. But what they can do is foul, right? They're very good at allowing their teams to shoot free throws, and BYU is there as well. Both of them are bottom 60. BYU is 288 in the country at 20 free throws allowed per game, and Pepperdine is even lower at 307 there. So a lot of free throws, a lot of fouls, right? And that's what we saw in that first matchup. If we just look at the first matchup between these 2 teams, BYU shot 32 free throws, right? And Pepperdine only shot 18, which is below, obviously, their season average there and below BYU's season average. So I expect a little bit more there. BYU has been holding teams a little bit lower there, but we saw Pepperdine get hot. And obviously we've seen this team just find a way to scrap, right? They're not good, right? We had them in the over. They went to overtime, found a way to win. But I love how much they foul. I love how BYU is an older team that does shoot free throws well. And I'm hoping Pepperdine is able to continue to feed Lewis. He's fantastic. He's a very good guard. And the ability to score inside now for Pepperdine, I think we can see them score into that 70s range, and obviously their defense is horrendous. So I expect BYU over 80 for sure. Hopefully it stays close. We see a 8.5 point spread favored towards plus 120 towards Pepperdine. So hopefully this one can stay in that 7 to 10 range. So we can see some fouls at the end, and I'm over on FanDuel to find this one at minus 110 here. I think we can see some points. And again, watch Pepperdine continue to just struggle on the defensive end. Play number 2. We're going to an old favorite, right? We're going to the Marshall Thundering Herd. Obviously, we've been backing them early in the season. We've kind of taken our foot off the gas there in terms of going after them. I was going after them a lot during the start of the season, but taking a step back, and hopefully we'll be able to get right back after it here. So let's just start out with first half numbers. Marshall is 30th in the country in terms of first half scoring at 37.6 points per game. And Coastal Carolina's bottom 30 in terms of points per game allowed in the first half, 37.1 points allowed in the first half. Obviously, I'd like to see that. But I also like the 3-point shooting of Marshall. We love Kinsey. We got Kerfman over there. Guys we've talked about quite a bit. And I just love how this Marshall team is playing. They're continuing to be towards the top of the of the rankings in terms of pace. They are 25th in pace at 71 possessions per game. And then obviously a top 70 offense, top 90 defense. Coastal Carolina is horrendous defensively, 331 in adjusted defense, and they're in the middle of the pack in terms of tempo. I can't get away from Marshall today. I just think that their shooting, their three-point shooting is going to be very tough for this Coastal Carolina team to handle. Also, when we saw them play Coastal, obviously at home, they did pretty well, scored 81 total points, 81-66 at home. But Marshall also hit 38 points in that one and didn't particularly shoot the ball well in that game, right? So I expect a little bit more efficiency here. They were only 7 for 28 from three, which is way off of their season average. And we just saw Kinsey do whatever he wanted there. The three-point ball was just not falling, right? They scored 38 points in the first half on the first game. Kinsey had a very, very, very nice game there, scoring 27 points on only 15 shot attempts. But I expect the three-point ball to fall a little bit more. I expect a little bit more of the regression here. I don't think it was because of Coastal's defense. They're not particularly good at guarding the three ball. And I expect to see some of those threes falling in this game. Just kind of looking throughout here, right? We saw Kerfman was 1 for 6, 1 for 7 overall from the field, but Taylor and Kinsey did whatever they wanted. 17 from 30 combined. Kinsey had 9 assists in that game as well. But what I really like to see was just the inability for Coastal Carolina to guard down low. We saw Handlogden, I think is how you say it, go for 19 and 19 on these dudes. So scoring inside and out, you got 2 fantastic guards here at the top. And I'd obviously expect Marshall to run away with this one, at least in the first half. They just seem to struggle. Coastal Carolina, that is, at stopping teams in the first half. 38.5 minus 110 is over on DraftKings today. Let's do it, guys. Let's go for 7 straight winners, 2 of them today. Let me know if you've been tailing. Drop a like, and I will see you tomorrow for Pass the Prop, rolling with Pepperdine over 152.5 over on FanDuel, and then we're going over to Marshall on DraftKings at first half team total over 38.5. So have a good one, guys. Best of luck, and let's get to 7 straight winners.